Monica Wheat has joined us, and she is sort of the epitome of a tech star. Her bio is so impressive. I've known Monica for a long time, and let's talk a little bit about your new role with TechStars Detroit. And I think you're also a national person on TechStars, right?
I've worked with TechStars for about 10 years. In a role that we've been calling the Global Startup Programs Lead, where I've been working in and out of markets and helping them open markets and do special projects, multi-city tours, things like that. Most recently, I've joined in another capacity. I've come on board as a managing director. Was running the TechStars Equitec program last fall, but super excited that we're in the midst of announcing our new TechStars Detroit, which is a part of a 9-city collective that is being powered by JP Morgan. So super, super excited about that. And that will be launching this fall. And we're in the process right now of recruiting teams and founders and all that good stuff.
So what are you looking for in startups for TechStars Equitec?
Well, TechStars Equitec is the program that was last fall. The one that we're focusing on and that I am working on right now is TechStars Detroit. And so it's really our thesis is pretty simple. It's open to all founders, but our focus is going to be on recruiting and providing equitable access to underrepresented founders. So we'll get a mix in the class, and we're looking for in Detroit specifically, we are industry agnostic. I don't have a specific vertical that we're recruiting against. It really is, I'm looking for good ideas. I'm looking for people who have proven a specific problem, have proven a specific customer market, and are looking for a program that can help them accelerate their company to the next level.
Would this be more of a second stage kind of company, or would this be a startup company? Do they need to be commercial already? I'm not sure on that.
No, that's a good question too. We're definitely early stage investors. TechStars by design would be considered an early stage investor. We've had all levels of people. Most recently, the class that I led, we had several companies who had not launched their product yet. We've also had several companies that are in the beginning stages of launching their product, where they are doing pilots with initial clients. We've had several companies that have raised $0 and that TechStars is their literal first investor. And we've had several companies that have, either earned 500K or so in revenue and some that have earned even $1 million in revenue. So it's really about fit. And it's really about, do we think that we have a really good opportunity to help you scale your company? And what for normal startups might take anywhere from 18 to 24 months, but with an accelerator timeframe will take about 3 months. And so with those parameters, we're really open to just finding good companies and bringing them into the mix and seeing if there's a fit.
Okay, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what it is about your background, about your entrepreneurial journey that you bring to TechStars Detroit. What is it about, what your path has included that, puts you in a position to help these companies?
Well, I appreciate that. I've been doing, I guess we will quietly say that I've had about 24 years of professional experience. About 10, 15 of that has been.
You started when you were like 16 though, right? So
6, yeah, right. There you go.
But yeah, I've been in the corporate space for a very long time. I started out in commodities trading, and then pure engineering roles, and then moved into more advanced analytics. And when I was in those engineering roles and more of those advanced analytics space, my role with Fortune 100 and Fortune 10 companies was to evaluate startups, to see if they would be a fit with those larger scale companies. And so I shifted from that about 2006. That's when I started making some of my initial investments. And with that process, since then, we did those initial investments, and then we've pushed forward through all sorts of partnerships in Detroit, nationally and globally, leading to this. And so I'm excited about this, and I think it's a strong fit with my background and then our timing here in Detroit, because a couple things. Anyone who's ever worked with me knows that I have a really strong emphasis on equity and access and opportunity. Amanda and I, who you just had on, she's been a business partner of mine for several years. We founded Venture Catalyst together. And in that process, one of our earliest partners was TechStars, and one of our earliest sponsors was JP Morgan Chase. And so we've had long relationships intertwining with both entities, looking for just always opportunities. And this is a very unique opportunity in that this is JP Morgan. This is them going to their private clients and who are looking to invest in key ecosystems where they think they're going to get strong ROI out of the companies that are in that area being accelerated. So that's part one. I'm definitely aligned there. The second part is them looking for spaces and places where they think they're going to get a kind of a mass effect of diversity, access to underrepresented founders who have tech skills and amazing ideas, but just haven't been given the levers or didn't have the opportunity to have those levers applied to their businesses and their startups. So definitely aligned there. And then number three, from a business objective standpoint, both TechStars has a growth objective we're in the midst of right now, which is, pretty ambitious and pretty admirable from across the board from how I've been working with them, and then where we see the future vision to be of looking for additional places to bring our broader footprint. And Detroit we had a TechStars Accelerator a few years back. And so we've already had history there, and I worked with them then and worked with them obviously in other cities. But then JP Morgan Chase on the other hand as well, having been a sponsor of the work that we've done before, but coming in this perspective as specifically an investor, but still working on they've got these advancing cities, advancing Black pathways and different initiatives that they've had for years. Multi-billion dollar investments in some cases. So it's just a lot of alignment. And so it's a lot of alignment and timing. And all of those things make this a great opportunity for these founders. And we are recruiting globally. We obviously have an emphasis, and we'll be looking at, based in Detroit, and have an emphasis in Michigan founders, but we'll be in Ann Arbor doing an info session. We'll hopefully get a chance to do some of the other spaces, but we also be recruiting from out of state and other countries as well. That mix is part of what makes it a very strong class and makes it for a very strong experience for the folks who are a part of it.
So your portfolio right now, I would imagine, would be predominantly Michigan-based companies. Yes, no?
Yeah, I think that we're going to see that, but we're definitely open. We're operating on what's going to be called remote first, meaning that the first few weeks will be live as we do like our launch event and our mentor meetings and some of that level setting. The middle of the accelerator is going to be virtual. We'll have accelerator space and availability for folks to come in and get some of those things live, and also benefit from the startup and the startup ecosystem that is Detroit, Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids, Michigan. And then at the end, we'll come back live again as we are winding down and preparing everyone for the final demo days, some of the broader showcase opportunities and things that we'll be doing with Chase, things like that. So that opportunity is going to benefit, obviously, folks who are more closely located. But we've seen very good results with. I think my last class we had 4 companies from out of the country, and they did well, and they moved to the area, and some of them actually ended up staying. So it's also can be an attraction mechanism as well.
So what does JP Morgan bring to the project here? What do they bring to the party?
A lot. So number one, this is a 9-city investment. This is a 9-city investment over 3 years, with each of the cities planning to do at least 2 programs per year. So we're looking at over 400 startups that would get a chance to be accelerated. But they're the key investors. There are LPs for these funds and for these initiatives. But then on top of that, they're bringing the mass power of the JP Morgan network to combine with the mass power of the TechStars network. And they're going to be looking at financial products and ways to onboard, making different vehicles available to all the founders who are chosen. They're going to be opening up their networks of mentors and partners and things like that. They're going to be giving us an easier chance to bring some of those kind of key speakers and subject matter experts on board. And then they're going to be bringing their people. They're going to be bringing a lot of we talk a lot about, when we think about equity and access and opportunity, I think one of the longest arguments that we have is folks thinking about this more as an investment opportunity and not as philanthropy. And when you do that, it's really about like understanding where you invest people, time, and resources. And they're doing exactly that as part of this initiative.
So they bring the golden Rolodex and they bring, I imagine, investment cash. So I'm assuming that all these companies then that they would give equity to these, or give trade equity to the investors for the investment, I assume, right?
Yeah, TechStars, we are the investors. And so we invest on behalf of our LPs. And in this case, that's JP Morgan. And so, yes, they will be supplying that capital. So we invest on behalf of them, and using our expertise and our network of choosing companies, we set all of that up and put it in motion. And our expertise is building accelerators and building these environments with which to strengthen these companies and get them to the next level. And so, yeah, JP Morgan is definitely coming on board, being our capital partner, but definitely also being our strategic partner, and bringing their network and the opportunities that they have already set up for all of these founders.
So what do you see as that's unique about the Detroit and Michigan startup scene?
Just a couple things. Number one, obviously, we have a strong base, a strong community. I always quote that. It's super, super key when you're building startups, because building startups is ridiculously hard, harder than even those who've been on their own already. If you really get traction, you get it going, you've not seen hard yet. So having a very strong, supportive community around you is the difference between success and not success. So that's part one. But then the next part is then Detroit's tech talent. As most people know already, we have one of the largest tech and engineering populations outside of Silicon Valley. And so we bring that with all the different industries and industry experience and professional experience, but then that also translates into the mentors that we find. In past programs that I've done for both TechStars and other entities like Backstage Capital and Google for Startups and some of these other places that have come and been amazing partners, one of the things they've always remarked upon is the fact that the Detroit ecosystem, how strong of an output we had when it came to recruiting mentors. We can't do this without mentors. 99% of the programs that I am a lead of or I'm a partner of are mentor-based programs. It is access to these people's experiences, their additional angel capital, their additional expertise and their time that really is a differentiator for us. And again, that's a testament to us as a community, but it's also a testament to talent and skill set and the variety of industries that are in Michigan, that have these level of executives and managers and other folks who can really help dig into the companies and help them supercharge their marketing, their finances, their all the pieces that make a good company grow, but then also giving them biz dev relationships and then additional investor intros, and just additional things that it takes to lever up so that a startup can grow.
All right. And so you got everybody all excited. They want to apply. How do they do that?
Absolutely. So our website is the main source. It's www.techstars.com. If you go on there and you click on accelerators, it'll show you the main accelerator application app, and you'll just scroll down and you'll find TechStars Detroit, powered by JP Morgan. We are super, super excited. Also, we have on that website, we have an Inside a TechStars Accelerator info session that is this upcoming Wednesday. And that's on Hopin. There's a link on there for you to register. Not only will all five of the city MDs, including myself, so Miami, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Detroit, and Atlanta, we will all be on there speaking. And we have a keynote with McKeever Conwell, who is a good friend of mine, but also a VC and lead of the Rare Breed Ventures venture fund. He'll be our keynote. We'll be all talking about all the ins and outs and all the questions about what it's like to be in a TechStars Accelerator. And then we'll have 30-minute breakouts where we'll be going through things like pitch deck masterclass and product market fit and resilience and just all these different things that make not only supercharge your application, but also can be helpful for founders just in general. So techstars.com is where you can find more information. And then also inviting everyone to join us on the 28th, this upcoming Thursday, for our Inside at TechStars Accelerator event.
What time?